Hey, second grade cartoon Mr. Rickman here, and I'm here to introduce you to your next project. It's called line movement. And basically, we're going to learn a trick that artists use, which is basically taking something that sits still and making it look like it's moving. Now, when you think about movement, you probably think of something like this. Now, that's not the kind of movement we're talking about. We're talking about, for example, the famous artist Winslow Homer in this famous painting that he did, where it looks like the waves are actually crashing down and right in front of your eyes, even though you know you're sitting still. And Homer actually uses these tricks to lead the viewer's eye across the canvas to make it look like it's moving. So you see on the right, the waves look like they're coming up, and then it leads your eyes just to the left where it looks like the waves are crashing down, and then it left a little bit more and you see the spray coming up. So you see the whole process of a wave crashing. It leads your eye from the right to the left. Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night, for example, it leads the viewer's eyes around, and these lines going around and the line of the tree coming up leads the viewer's eyes around the canvas, so it actually looks like these stars are moving. Marcel Duchamp descending a staircase. On the right hand side you see a picture that he took, or an artist took, of him walking down the stairs. If you took pictures as they go down, and then he did a painting to make it look like someone's walking down the stairs. So these are how artists use movement to actually show, to make it look like something is moving. It's a sneaky trick that artists use. They use lots of different tricks, but movement is just one of the principles of design. Here's an example of an artist tricking your eye with movement. Looks like a statue, doesn't it? Pretty amazing. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to get a 6x6 white piece of paper, and you're going to take a straight edge, and you're just going to make lines going diagonally. It has to go diagonally. You can make the lines thick, you can make them thin, but make them straight. You have to use a straight edge because that's really important. Then you're going to color in most of them. You can leave a few of the lines white. They can be thick lines, they can be thin lines, it's up to you. But don't make them too thick because then they get to be hard to color in. So make a bunch of lines, make them diagonal, make them thick, make them thin, and color in most of them. After you do that, I'm going to give you a straight edge that you can measure out 1/4 inch. You won't have to use a ruler. I'll give that to you for you. But you're going to make a mark where the marks are that I give you, and then on both sides, and then you're going to use the straight edge to connect those two marks. So you see I measured them on both sides, and then I connect them with the straight edge. You have to use the straight edge. After you've made all of those lines, there should be 12 strips. This is hugely important. You have to stop and make sure you number each one of them, 1 through 12. That way when you're cutting them, you can keep them straight. You have to have the lines in order. Please cut straight along the lines that you drew to make sure that the lines are perfectly straight. After you do that, we're going to attach them to the background. Let's take a movement break. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to start with number 6 and glue that perfectly straight going across. And then you're going to start working backwards and take number 5. And you see that I connected it perfectly lined up on the right hand side, but then I left a huge space on the left hand side. I angled it up a little bit. And what that does is that starts bending those lines that you know is straight, but we're going to make them look like they're curved. So on the right hand side, I want them touching. On the left side, I want them spaced. After you do 1 through 5, then you're going to start back with 7, and then this time you're going to connect it on the left hand side and leave the space on the right. So you see how I'm doing it exactly opposite. And the reason why we're doing that is to make it look like it's going to bend the other way this time. So on the bottom it bends to the left side, on the top it bends to the right side. So leave the space on one side and connected on the other. And you see that we connect them and moved them, made it look like it's moving. You're done. Great job, second grade.